I'm sure today, the time that you spend the next 1 hour to be with us, this 1 hour of investment on this wonderful Friday evening could well be a turning point in your life. The following questions I would like you to ask yourself. Are you happy with your present job? Are you happy with your current income? Do you wish to be your own boss? Now, if you think you want a better life, then you will need to have the courage to make the right decision. As the wise men say, if you want to succeed in life, it's all about making the right choice. So I would like to urge that each of you would to spend the next 1 hour paying attention to what our three great speakers would have to share. And I wish you all a pleasant evening. Back to Ian.
Thank you, Raymond, our Deputy Chief Sales Officer. So now, let's have a brief introduction about our speaker. But first, I would like to invite our internal speaker. So let me give you a brief introduction about our guest speaker today. 10 years ago, our speaker was at the crossroad. He has just completed his scholarship, bond with the government, and was deciding if he should continue or he should start his own business venture and take full control of his own destiny. The odds were against him. He had no business background, no capital, and no great business idea. Yet, he chose the path less traveled and become an entrepreneur. Because of his love for learning and teaching, he started a training company representing over 100 trainers, serving well-known clients like LinkedIn, FedEx, BCG Consulting, and Company. His training company has also opened many doors for him to speak and travel all around the world. Most recently in Middle East, teaching tens of thousands of salespersons how to become highly sought after in their industry. He has also made Singaporean proud of being featured on Business Week in USA as one of the top 25 young entrepreneurs of Asia and JCI 10 most outstanding young alumni for his business achievements. You are probably wondering what made him choose the path of entrepreneurship and how did he manage to succeed in spite of the odds? The good news is he has the answer. So let's invite him on stage tonight to share with us so that we too can enjoy the fun, freedom, and fulfillment that comes with becoming an entrepreneur. Let's welcome Eric Feng.
Thank you very much, Ian. And good evening, everyone from Allianz. For those of you who are watching us live right now on Facebook, if you can see us, you can hear us, hit the heart button right now. You'll see right at the bottom of your comment section, there is the thumbs button, there's the heart button. Let's give the heart button, okay? Let's see how many of you guys are here today. So I have Agnes, I have Cindy, who else is here? We have Vulcan, well, interesting name, Raymond, and Desmond Tan as well. And today, there are two segments to my speech. Segment number one, I'm going to be sharing with you my backstory of why I chose to leave a well-paying job and why I chose the path less traveled to be an entrepreneur. And then part two, we're going to look at two very successful entrepreneurs in Allianz, all right, and to understand what's their secrets in being successful in spite of the odds against them, okay? So if you guys are excited, remember to hit the heart button. And this is also a public sharing. So if you have any friends that you feel would find today's sharing extremely useful, you can also hit the share button. If you look at your comment section right now, you will see that on the bottom left-hand corner, there's a share button. So if you hit the share button, you have a whole bunch of friends who potentially would appreciate today's sharing. So you can invite them and, you know, make sure they buy you a cup of bubble tea after this session, all right? So without further ado, well, since today is about career, I'd like to share with you a little bit about my backstory. So this is my great-grandfather. He is a rickshaw puller. And this is my grandfather. He is a trishaw rider. And this is my dad. He's a taxi driver. So if you guys are in the career space, right? What would you say would be the best career opportunity for me? Anyone want to share in a comment section right now? Where do you think I should be doing? Because when I first shared my career background with my friends, right, everyone was saying that, Eric, you know, your destiny lies in transportation. I don't know if you feel the same way. I remember that when I was very young, my dad would always ask me, right, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I would always tell him, I'll be a taxi driver just like you. Right? And he'll be very disappointed. And every day, you know, he will try to psycho me and he'll hit me on the head and he'll tell me, Daddy, I have big dreams for you, okay? So can you please dream bigger? So one of the things that he always tell me is to dream big. So can I invite every single one of you watching us right now, write in the comments section, DREAMBIG. I'm going to give away a copy of my book, The Future of Selling, to the first person who leave a comment. So throughout the entire show, right, the next 1 hour, you know, we'll be giving away prizes, we're giving away books, but you got to make sure you stand by your keyboard, okay, and make sure you key in an answer. So I'm looking at a first person who's going to comment dream big. And the lucky winner is Livia Lim. Congratulations, you won yourself a copy of this book, The Future of Selling. All right, so it's a colored book that shares with you, you know, how do you do well in the business world of today. So congratulations. Okay, so everyone stand by in your keyboard, because throughout the entire 1 hour, you know, I'll be asking you questions. I'll be getting you to interact with me. This is not just a one-way street, it's a two-way street, okay? So let's have a conversation and let's have some fun today. So congratulations. So anyway, my dad would tell me all the time, like, hey boy, you got to dream big, okay? And then one day I came to him at about 4 years old and I said, Dad, I know what I want to be already. And then he was like, what? I said, okay, I'll be a bus driver. All right. And that's when he decided to have my sister, because this son, right, is not very, very ambitious. So of course, along the way, I have many, many aspirations. You know, you get influenced a lot by what you watch on television. I wanted to be a celebrity. I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to be many, many things. And but something happened during my accounting first year. So by the way, before I stepped into university, I actually take up a scholarship. And so I was studying computer science, partly because I love computer games. And so I thought, since I like computer games, must as well I do computer science, right? So that's how I got my scholarship with the government. So life is actually supposedly pretty good, right? I know that I have a good salary, I have an iron rice bowl, my future is more or less safe. And then I step into this class, which is Accounting 101. So if you're in a university or you're in Polytechnic, you know, one of the first classes that you will join is accounting. And during one of our first lessons, our professor actually teach us about the balance sheet, that assets equals liabilities plus equity, right? So you all know this. A balance sheet is extremely important because it helps you or help management decide on business decisions, right? So I have a question for all of you, and this is where I'm going to give out the second book. All right, and the question is, where do you think your employee salary lies? Where do you think your employee salary lies? Because that was the question that our professor asked us, right? Where do you think your salary lies? And I remember I was sitting in the front row and I raised my hand and I gave him my answer, and my answer was wrong. So let's take a look at the comment section right now. Let's see, you know, who is the first person, you know, who's able to get the answer right. So is it assets? Is it liabilities? Or is it equities? And what was very interesting was I remember raising my hands and I told the professor that salary lies under asset, right? Because what is asset? Asset, if you look at the dictionary, right, it means that you are value. You are the most valuable player, right or not? So apparently my professor laughed and he said, well, good answer, but that's not the right answer. And someone actually got the answer right already. And the lucky winner is Regine Tan. Regine Tan, congratulations. You won yourself a second copy of The Future of Selling book. And the answer is liabilities. Can you believe it, guys, that your salary, according to the balance sheet, falls under the liability section? Now, what is the implication? Let me tell you what's the implication. Liabilities, right? It's a negative word. And whenever you see a balance sheet, right, what you want to do is to make sure that the shareholder gets a lot of value, right? So the value of the company lies under the assets and the equities. So what happened was, I realized to my horror that my salary lies under liabilities. And that's the reason why when there is an economic crisis, like right now, right, we're moving into one, you realize that why are you the first to get retrenched? For a very simple reason. Because we want to try to maintain the value of our equity. This is where the earnings are. All right. And because in an economic crisis, our receivables drop, our cash drop. So assets drop. Right? In order to still maintain our equities, right, or we want to increase the value of our equity, we need to therefore reduce the liabilities. And that's the reason why you are the first to go. If you are a middle management, right, and you get a lot of salary, you will be the first to go because the young people can do your job, right? Because they have no choice. But for you, because you are a huge liability, people pay 10,000 ringgit for you, they're going to fire you first. And if you see today, right, one of the advice that I get from my dad all the time, my dad always tell me, if you work hard, you will be successful. Does anyone has a father or mother that tells you that, if you work hard, you will be successful? Anyone? Like, as long as you put in 100% effort, you will get 100% success. Because that was how I was being brought up. I always believed that my success is within my control. But to my horror, after attending Accounting Class 101, I realized that the economy plays a very big part to my success. That when the economy is not doing well, the chances of me getting retrenched and fired or getting a frozen pay, it's very, very high, which is what's happening right now in today's market. And therefore, all of a sudden, I realized that my success is not really in my full control. Now, if you look at last year, even before COVID-19 happens, we already know that we're moving into an economic crisis. And then COVID-19 happened, it's like a big punch on the face, and everyone is bleeding right now economically. Right. So, of course, in COVID-19, there are always going to be winners and losers. In an article by Medium, which is a very credible news source, this is what they said, that these are all the losers in this COVID-19 world. If you are in the airline industry, if you're in a hotel industry, restaurant, conference, recreation, commercial real estate, gym, fitness, even keynote speakers, the travel agents, car dealerships, if you are in any of those industries right now, you are essentially facing a decline in industry, and you are most susceptible to being retrenched, or you're most susceptible to getting a reduction of your pay while our expenses are still the same. Now, some of you will say, but Eric, you're being very pessimistic here, Yes, it's true. When economy goes down, we all suffer. But when the economy goes up, we all enjoy the benefits. Is that really true? If you read this article, and I read it to you, right? It's from Singapore. Local economists noted that despite Singapore economy growing 6% a year, the average income in Singapore only rises 1.2%. So when economy do badly, we suffer as an employee. But when economy do well, we may not do as well. Why? Here's the reason. So this economist actually explains that it's because most of the company growth is generated to channel towards company profits instead of employee pay. So that means whatever extra cash that we get, it goes into the equity column. It doesn't go into the liability column. And that's why we don't see a very high pay raise. So all of a sudden, you realize that you are not paid, to be rich. And this is something that I realized in my first year as an NUS student, that all of us, if you're an employee, you are paid to do a job. You are not paid to be rich. Your job is a bribe, and it pay you enough to essentially forget your dreams. So they're not going to pay you so much until you don't need a job, but they're going to pay you enough so that you have to keep working forever and ever. And that was something that got me really depressed in my first year of NUS. And I realized that, no, this is not exactly what I want. And to my horror, I realized that our success is no longer just about our effort. Our success has a lot to do with the economy. And when the economy does badly, our success gets affected. Even when the economy does well, it also depends on management policies. If the management is pro-investors, we're not going to benefit from an upward economy trend. If the management is pro-employees, then maybe we get to benefit from the economy. So I'm going to pause there for a moment, and I want to check in with all of you watching this right now. We have crossed the 200 mark, right? How many of you can resonate and agree that, this is exactly what's happening? It's like all of a sudden you realize that your success is really not in your hands. Your destiny is not exactly in your hands as you hope to be, because it's dependent on the economy, it's dependent on the management, right? So I can see you guys writing down in the comment section. So Vulcan, Joseph, Edward, I see a lot of heart buttons as well. So obviously, this is something that maybe have happened to you, or it's something that you observe about your friends. But that's not all. To make things worse, there is something else that's happening in your organization that's going to jeopardize your success, that's going to affect negatively your success. In order to explain that, let me first explain this very popular movie. I'm going to give another prize to the first person who can answer this question. Can someone tell me what is this very, very popular Chinese show? I have my phone over here. So let's see. What's this very, very popular show? Who's the first person? It's a very popular Chinese show, very popular in Singapore. I'm pretty sure very popular in Malaysia as well. And many of you probably have watched one or twice. And the reason why this show is popular is because it reflects a lot of your working world. And congratulations, Livia Lim. You got it right. You say it in English, which I mean, it's still okay. So it's Yanxi. Yes, it's the Yanxi Palace or Yanxi Gonglue. All right, so congratulations, Livia, for winning a copy of The Future of Selling. All right, congrats. Now, so you are absolutely right, and you guys are catching on. How many of you actually love the show? If you love the Yanxi Gonglue, you watch it before, hit the heart button right now. I want to see how many of you actually watched it. I know my friends are crazy about the show, all right, and many of them have actually watched a lot of the reruns. Now, I'll tell you why this show is extremely popular. This show is very popular because it's a very close reflection of what's happening in our working world. You realize that? It's very, very similar, right? So in every company, there's always going to be the Lao Jiao, the old bird, the Lao Lao, right? So she's the one that's been in organization the longest, and she doesn't do much work. She only talk only one. So you cannot offend her, because you offend her, right? Good luck to your career. And she's the kind of person that whenever you have new ideas, you share with her, she'll always tell you, young man, young girl, it will never work in our company. Long time ago when I was your age, this kind of people, right? So you don't want to offend the old birds. And then in the company, there are also conniving colleagues. These are colleagues that are threatened by you, and they don't like you, and they want to sabotage you, and they want to make sure that you don't succeed in your organization, right? Why? Let me explain using a very simple analogy, right? Remember during COVID-19, when your Malaysian government announced a lockdown, everyone started rushing into the supermarket, to grab toilet paper. Why? Because toilet paper is being perceived as a limited resource. There's little toilet paper. There's many people who want toilet paper. So what happened? They fight. It's the same thing in a corporate organization as well. In a corporate organization, it's like a triangle. There are many people at the bottom, but there's only one CEO position. So everybody is trying to fight for that CEO position, and that's why people fight. So it's not because they are bad people, but simply because they feel threatened by you. And the more capable you are, the more dangerous you're going to be, because people will try to find ways to sabotage you, right? That's why I say that, in a corporate world, there's a lot of backstabbing. How many of you can relate to what I'm talking about? I've worked in the corporate world as well, okay? So I understand that if you're too outspoken, you're too capable, if your boss like you a lot, good luck to you. You're essentially, right, in Chinese, 我们讲说树高招风. When your tree is very, very high, you attract a lot of wind, you attract a lot of unnecessary attention, and that's going to get you in trouble if you do not know how to play politics. And so one of the things that I always say is beware of the toes that you step today, because they could be attached to the beep that you may have to kiss tomorrow. So I don't know about you, but this kind of world is not a good world for me. I'm the kind of person, if I like you, I like you. If I don't like you, I don't like you. I cannot pretend to like you. I'm very bad in politics. If I'm going to play politics, I'm going to be the first to get destroyed. How many of you are like me? Let me know in the comment section. How many of you reporting one? Also, show die one in politics, right? Because you don't know how to play the game, right? Unfortunately, some people, they are very, very good at playing politics, right? So let's check in with all of you here. How many of you here can understand and can actually see that this is exactly what's happening in the corporate world right now? That, you used to be from corporate world, very, very political. Your bosses don't like you, so they'll never promote you. And your colleagues don't like you, they try to sabotage you. Many, many things like that. So we have Volkat, Henrich, who has this situation. I'm sorry. Ao Yong Yushan also have the same situation. Joseph, and I think many of you are catching on, and you're realizing that's the problem, right? So during the 1980s, I'm born from the 1980s, by the way. So if you are also born in the 1980s, high five, my brother, my sister, right? Our era is the best era because during the 1980s, there's no internet. Life is so much easier, simpler, not like now, huh? So anyway, I remember during the 1980s, there's this cartoon that's very popular, which is what you're seeing right now over here. It's called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, right? And you all remember the show where he will take a sword and then he will point to the sky and he will say what? He will say, by the power of Grayskull, I am He-Man, right? Oh, no, not I'm He-Man. I am Master of the Universe. You all remember that? He'll like hold a sword and he'll go, I am Master of the Universe, right? Now, he's the Master of the Universe, but I realized that I was totally not the master of my universe. The biggest reason why I decided not to continue to be a salaried worker and to decide to be an entrepreneur, to be my own business owner, is because I realized that my success is not in my control. It's like I'm sitting in a car, the car is moving very fast, I'm blindfolded, and I'm handcuffed. Right? That kind of feeling is not a very nice feeling. And I'm pretty sure those people who have actually took a step forward to be an entrepreneur, you know what I'm talking about. And those of you who are watching us right now, chances are you are in an environment where you felt like your success is not within your control. Your success is being controlled by the economy. Your success is being controlled by management. Your success is being controlled by your ability to pay politics. I tell you, that kind of life, right, is 生不如死. That means you rather die than to live because it's so miserable. It's like you're a slave in your workplace, right? And if you guys can relate to that, could you give me a crying face right now? In your chat box, in your Facebook, right? You've got many emojis. I see an angry face. I see many sad faces. All right. How about the rest of you, right? How do you feel about that? All right. Chances are many of you are feeling the same thing. Now, enough about my story. So now you know why I decided to be an entrepreneur. I want to give you a tip because I understand that Allianz, is basically organizing this career seminar, and many of you guys are considering a career with Allianz, right? So the question is Allianz a good employer? Right? You don't want to go from one hellhole and jump into another hellhole. So I thought I'll be the best person to talk to you because I'm not from Allianz. I've been hired by Allianz to do this speech, but I want to give you a tip, right, on how to know, right, whether you will have a future in the organization. This is a tip that my mentor gave me when I was working in a 9-to-5 job. So my mentor told me this: if you want to know your future in a company, just study your boss. Look at your boss. Look at the number of hours he works. Look at the car he drives. Look at the holidays that he goes to. Look at the life he lives. Look at the relationship he has. Look at how stressed he is. You will know your future because you're walking the same path with your boss. It's just that your boss are maybe a few years ahead of you. So when I look at my boss, right, I tell you, I nearly cry, man, because very sad one. My boss, right, is only probably about a couple of years older than me, but he every day look very stressed. He's overweight, not because he wants to, but because he's very stressed out. And so when he's stressed, he eats a lot. He's been around for a while, but he never seems to be appreciated by his bosses. He's always stressed out, very angry and very unhappy. He takes the train to work. I don't think he's making a lot of money. He doesn't go for much holidays. And I was telling myself, oh my God, I worked so hard just to be like him. And then I'm going to continue suffering. That's not the kind of life I want. And so, one of the advice I give you is this, that sometimes when you look at your boss, you realize that by working faithfully 8 hours a day, you may one day actually take over your boss position, but you'll end up working 12 hours a day. And I do not know about you, but that's definitely not the kind of life I want. So later on, I invite you guys to have a conversation with the person that brought you to this seminar. Go have a chat with the person on the phone or get on a Zoom call with the person and ask the person, all right, how many holidays you have went to last year. Ask them, how much money do you make every month? How much time do you have for your children and your family and your girlfriend and your boyfriend? If you care about cars, what kind of car are you driving? Right? What kind of life are you living? Because whatever that they're having right now is exactly what you're going to be having if you join the Allianz platform. All right, so that's a tip that I want to give to every one of you. And that's also the reason why I didn't want to be a salaried worker, because I saw that my boss is stressed out and overworked, and I didn't want to be stressed out and overworked. That's why I don't want to continue being a salaried worker. Last tip for you. The final nail to my coffin, my career coffin, right, is where I started calculating my hourly rate. I don't recommend you to do it, but if you do it, I tell you the truth would hurt you, but the truth will also set you free. So back then, right, in my first job, I was making about 3,000 Sing dollars, and we work about 10 hours a day. But I mean, to tell you the truth, right, we didn't really work 10 hours. The only reason why we work 10 hours is because our company has a very weird culture that if you go back before your boss, it means that you're a lazy guy. It's damn stupid culture, because I can pretend to work and play Mobile Legends right now. So it's very stupid culture, but that was the culture that it is. That if my boss haven't go yet, I shouldn't go home, right? In fact, I should go to my workplace before my boss. I should leave my workplace after my boss. So people start dragging their work because they don't want to finish their work so fast. It's quite stupid. Anyway, so we work about 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I calculated my hourly rate. It's very sad. I was only making about $15 an hour, and that's about the same price as a domestic worker in Singapore. And then I was thinking to myself, I study so hard, all right, get so stressed out, overwork, and I only earn $15 an hour, which is the same as a domestic worker. Must as well I be a domestic worker. At least at home, I can sit in an aircon room, watch 延禧攻略, and then do housework, right? Isn't that better? No stress, no politics. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. Fundamentally, as an employee, there is a fundamental problem. And that is, we are using our time to exchange for money, right? And the problem with that is this, that if you are the kind of person that want to have financial, you want to have a lot of time, freedom, right? You want to have time to go for holidays. You want to have time to pursue your hobbies. You want to have the freedom that some days you work, some days you don't work. You'll never be able to be happy because your money is always capped at the amount of time you spend. And don't forget, you may be in your early 20s right now, so you have a lot of energy. But by the time you hit 40, 50, 60 years old, you have not much energy left. You can't exchange time for money. It's just not going to help you achieve the kind of financial goals that you want. So the last reason why I decided not to be a salaried worker and to pursue entrepreneurship, to be my own boss, is because I do not want to have a cap to the money that I'm making. Now, before any one of you jump and say, Eric, thank you very much for your talk, I'm convinced, right? I don't want to be a salaried worker. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to start my own business. Or for some of you, you're a student and you're about to graduate. You go, you know what? You're right. I'm not going to find a job. I'm going to be my own boss. Please listen very carefully to what I'm about to share with you. Because there are a lot of young people out there who tell themselves, hey, you know what? I bake very good cupcakes. I'm a very good programmer. I'm a good marketer. You know, I'm good at a certain skill. I'm good at writing. You know, I'm good at cooking, right? And because of that, you start your own business. Before you even think about starting your own business, listen to what I'm about to share with you. The only similarity between you and a real business owner is that both of you work for yourselves. So if you're all going to go out and start your own F&B business, start your own service company, whatever business you want to start with, right? You are not really a business owner. You are only considered self-employed. That means you are your own boss. That's all. That's the only similarity. And I'll tell you why in Malaysia, there's so many entrepreneurs who fail. I have friends who are fitness instructor, good body, good physique, you know, and they say, you know what, I'll be a fitness instructor. They're self-employed. Or I'm a singer. I'm very good at singing. So I'm going to go to a Minke Chanting. I'm going to go to a cafe and I'm going to start singing, right? When you do that, right, you're essentially just self-employed. You're not really a real business owner, okay? What's the key difference? Here's the key difference. When you are self-employed, you are relying 100% on yourself. Whereas if you are a business owner, you are building your business on a tested platform. And I'll explain that in a very short while. So here's an example. You know, so for example, if you want to ever start your own business, you'll realize that you have to do everything yourself. In Hokkien, we say you have to pao ka liao, PKL. You have to do your own branding, you have to do your own marketing, selling, hiring, customer service, operation, investment, training, after sale. So imagine you have to do 10 things at the same time. What is your chances of success? Very, very low. That's the reason why the failure rate of being an entrepreneur is so high, not just in Malaysia, but in Singapore. But whereas your friends right? Why are they, they might not be as intelligent as you. They might not be as good looking as you. They might not be as capable as you. But why is it that they're successful on Allianz platform? The reason is because they are focusing on just doing one thing, right? And before I give you the go into any more deeper slides, right? I'm going to give you another analogy. A self-employed person built their own car. All right, so they fix the car, they fix the engine, they fix the steering wheel, and then they drive the car to get them to their financial goals. Whereas a business owner find the fastest car available in the world, they sit in the car and they get there faster than those guys. Now you understand why the failure rate for self-employed is so high, because they have to do everything themselves. They have to start from scratch. Whereas a business owner is going after a system, a fast car, all right, a sports car that's already tested, that move very fast, from no money to a lot of money, from no time to a lot of time, tested. And all they need to do is they don't have to reinvent the wheel. They just buy themselves a ticket to get on that car, and they are ready to rock and roll. And that's why I suspect the friend who brought you today to today's seminar, the reason why they're successful, even though they might not be as smart as you, is because they know how to leverage 借力. Right? They know how to leverage on the Allianz platform so that they only need to do one thing, right? Which is just be an ambassador of Allianz and to just keep attracting customers to their platform. And then Allianz will focus on doing everything else. Allianz will focus on creating the products. Allianz will focus on building the brand. Allianz will focus on customer support. Allianz will focus on training your people. Allianz will create a business model that allows you to enjoy passive income. So this is another big difference. If you are self-employed, you are still trading time for money. When you stop cutting hair, you stop making money. When you stop singing, you stop making money. You stop training people in fitness, you stop making money. You are still stuck in the business. Whereas your friends in Allianz, they're not stuck in the business. They got time to go for holidays. They got time to learn new languages or pursue new hobbies, because they are not in the business. They are on the business, right? The business is already there, and they need to do just work once, but they get paid 7 times because of the passive income structure, right? So if you ever want to be successful, you want to have more time, more money, more freedom, you don't want to be self-employed, you want to be a business owner. Don't go and build the business yourself. There are a lot of very successful business platforms. You just need to find one that you feel attracted to. They share the same values with you right on that platform. You're going to get to your goals much, much faster. All right. So I like what Edwin just said, which is correct. It's called leverage. Right. So I'm going to pause there for a moment and summarize what I have to say. And so if I can give you an overview, right? The reason why you do not want to continue being a salaried worker is because you do not want to live a life that has no control. Right. Number 2, you want to make sure that there is no cap to the money that you make. And number 3, you want to make sure that you can make money while you're sleeping, and you can have all the freedom that you want. So I hope my presentation to you gives you a very, very good idea of why I chose to quit my very good salary job and chose to jump into the road less traveled, not to be self-employed, but to be a business owner. Right. So I hope that you'll do the same thing as well. So at this point of time, if you guys are getting value, if you're enjoying yourself, you find whatever I've shared with you extremely valuable, let us know in the comment section. Give a big heart, and also that I know that, thank you very much for your hearts, but I'll know that you guys have gotten value. Okay. We just covered the first part. We're going to enter the second part of today's presentation. You're going to have a lot of fun with the second part. We're going to have some fun. Okay. So let me know in the comment section, in fact, let's do this. Okay. I'm going to give away a couple of books right now. Let me know in the comment section, what is your biggest takeaway so far? Like, out of everything I shared with you about the economy, about politics, about, the difference between self-employed and business owner, to you, what was your biggest takeaway? Let us know in the comment section. And later on, we're going to read your comments, and we're going to pick a few of you to win this book. Okay. So take some time to go write your comments as well. Okay, now, so you all remember just now I told you this, that if you want to know your future, all you need to do is just study your bosses, right? Study your future boss. So here's what I've done for you. I've actually spoken to Allianz, and I said, give me 2 very successful entrepreneurs, all right? And I want to know about their story. I want to know what makes them successful, And I want to know how's their life right now. Because whatever that's happening to them will happen to you as well if you choose to do what they're doing as well, right? So right now, we're going to invite our two guests. And I'm going to do a very short introduction about them in a short while. So can we get our two friends online? We have Cody and Joanne. All right. So what's very interesting about the Allianz platform, which I went to check, right? There are two tracks that you can focus on the minute you join the business platform. You can focus on being a salesperson. That means you become an ambassador, all right, to the company, or you can focus to be a leader and build people, right? So you either want to help the end users in Malaysia, or you want to build people. So there are two ways that you can succeed in the Allianz platform. And the very cool thing is that we've invited two of them to share with us, what's their success. And first of all, can we all please say hi to Cody and to Joanne?
Hi, Eric.
Right. Hello. Hi, guys.
Good.
How you doing?
How are you?
Very good. Very, very, very good. And I'm very excited because I can't wait to hear about your story. So while the rest of you guys are, writing down your comments of what you've learned, okay, I'm going to dive straight into our conversation today. So maybe we'll start with Cody. Cody, what were you doing before you got introduced to the Allianz platform?
I was actually a private banker. So been in the banking line for more than 13 years, perhaps.
Wow!
So, yeah, so it's a really long time.
You joined when? You joined when you were like, 18 years old?
Yeah, that's right.
Really? So young?
Yeah.
Okay. How about Joanne? Joanne, what were you doing before you joined the Allianz platform?
I was actually an IT student, so I was in the IT industry for a while. Then before I joined the banking.
High five. IT, same.
Really?
I computer science.
Oh,
That was my major. Yeah. Okay, so you were in IT for a while. Now, let's talk to the audience who's watching us right now, right? Can you let us know what industry were you guys from? Right, our guests or even our leaders. Let us know before you join the Allianz platform, right? Where were you all from? What industry you're from? Okay, let us know in the comment section. I do have some very nice pictures of our friend. So let's take a look at how they look like. Okay, so can you, Cody and Joanne, can you see our picture?
Yeah.
yes.
Guys, this is how Cody looks like. All right, so when he was in a bank. All right, and then so this was when, how old were you when you take this picture on the left?
This was when I'm 33, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
So I'm reviewing my age now.
It's okay, guys, no problem, man. It's fine. All right, so that's how it's banking, and then after here, this is insurance, is it?
That's right.
Okay, interesting. Now let's talk to Joanne. How about you, Joanne? I think I have a picture for you as well. All right, Joanne.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the pictures.
Okay, this is during my banking and IT line. So it was taken probably about 16 years ago.
Wow, so long.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I noticed something. They are not the first two successful people that I've interviewed in the insurance industry, but somehow the insurance people all look very young. Either they eat xian dan, xian dan means they eat some magic potion, or my friend actually had a theory that if you enjoy your job, you actually look young. So if you want to know how well they're doing in their career, just look at their face. If they look young and youthful, right, chances are this career is doing very well for them. Right? Do you all agree, Joanne and Cody?
Yeah, definitely.
Totally. Right. Sorry, Joanne, what are you saying?
Yeah, more time to do our stuff and not less stress.
I think it's the stress. I think it's the less stress. That's why people seem to do better. Well, let's take a look at the comment sections, right? So we have people who are from engineering. We have bankers as well. Livia Lim is from banking. Loy is from audit and accounting. Jason Lee is the same as Joanne, also from IT. And we have Regine from accounts, and we have a number of accountants, and we have people from hospitality as well. So tell us a little bit about, maybe we start with Cody, right? What was the push factor? You were a banker for so many years. Why quit? Why join insurance? What was the push?
All right, cool. So basically, it was a long story, but let's cut it short, right? So it comes to this bonus time. All right. So after a year, after you work so hard, so it's bonus time. So of course, once bonus comes out, then you start to talk to your colleagues and everyone. And well, so happened I'm actually talking to one of the blue eye boy of my lady boss. All right, cool. And I found that, why is your bonus a bit more than me? You see, so actually I was very disappointed, and I actually went to speak to my my lady boss, and she actually said, "Well, that's how it is." And
Oh, she said that's how it is.
yeah. So
Did she
that's
ask you suck thumb lah?
yeah. So it's like you just you don't work better next year, and you'll get it. So at the end of the day, I was thinking that, well, why don't I control my own fate rather than letting someone to control. And at the point of time, I remember that my performance level is actually about the same. Yeah, but the only thing is that because his background was a bit stronger than me. I mean, in terms of family background, So yeah.
Which is isn't that very unfair?
That's right.
Which is like sometimes in the corporate world it can be so biased. Like it's not really about performance against performance. It's very subjective. If I like you, I promote you. If I don't like you, good luck to you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that's called politics, guys. Welcome to the real world. Right. Where your success is not just about your effort, but it's about your ability to manage relationships at work. And sometimes even though no matter how you try your best to make your boss happy, but if they don't like you, they don't like you, and then you're in trouble. True or not?
Very
Poor
sad.
thing. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. How many of you have the same situation with Cody? Like, you work so hard, but your boss just don't appreciate you. How about Joanne? What's your push factor? Why do you quit your IT?
Yeah, for me, the IT line, I was in IT for about a year, but it was quite technical and very boring, and the pay is very low. So I jumped into sales in the banking line. But in the banking line, it actually afforded me with a very good reward and everything. But the thing is, I don't have a work-life balance. The working hours is too long for me. And I don't see myself going far from where I was that time because, in banking, there are many levels. So there are a lot of managers. So you need to wait for everyone to resign or, then only you get promoted. So it's very hard. Yeah, it's very competitive.
Which then again goes back to the politics again, right?
Yeah.
And it's the whole snatching for toilet paper, the principle, right? Everybody just went to fight. How many of you feel the same way? So for Cody, it's the politics, and for Joanne, is just simply the structure of the company doesn't really allow you to have time freedom. Back then, were you single or were you married already?
Single.
Can you imagine? Do you have kids right now?
No, still single.
You're enjoying life, huh? Now, can you imagine if one day you have kids and then you're still in a bank? Do you think you have ever have time for your kids?
Yeah, that's what actually when I was in banking, I don't even have time for my friends, my family, because the working hours is like 10 hours a day, sometimes 12, I even have to work on the day. So even though the money is good, but I don't have a work-life balance. It's like no time.
No time to spend the money.
Yeah, that's why. No time to spend money as well. Time to spend with my family and all that. Yeah, that's the most important.
And I think sometimes what's more important than money is the relationships, right? It's the quality time.
Yeah.
Someone once told me this, that make sure that your speed of success is faster than the speed of your parents growing old.
Yeah, totally agree.
Make sure that your speed of success is faster than the speed of your parents growing old. So sometimes you might be making a lot of money, but it takes time, but your parents can't wait for you, Your children cannot wait for you.
Yeah.
So I can understand why now. But I'm very curious, like, why insurance? There's so many business platforms out there that you can ride on. What is it that got you attracted to the insurance industry, Cody?
Okay, well, for me, is that because, I've been in the corporate for many years. So one of my main thing that, why insurance is that is because, like what you say just now, it's more like, a business owner. You can actually transform yourself to become a business owner. So that is always, that was always my dream, because when I always see business owners, they will have, number one, of course, the flexibility in time so they can actually control their life, you see?
True.
And, their lifestyle. And of course, whatever that we do, hard earn, like what you say, we will want our income to come faster than, our parents get. Also, of course, this is what I want, that, hopefully that one day I could give my family a better lifestyle, my wife and, my family, my mom and, my sisters and all. Yeah. So of course, but most of all, why insurance is that because I see insurance as that I could actually be a leader in the insurance business, so it's not like what I, like what I just said, that, my bonus is controlled and everything controlled. So it's like, oh, okay, you don't like, right? Next year, those kind of thing. But today I can actually control my destiny. I could actually, how hard I want, how fast I want to become a leader, how fast I want to earn this kind of
You decide your fate,
that's
essentially.
right.
How many of you feel like Cody? Like, you don't mind working. Someone actually told me this before. I don't mind working hard if I'm working for myself.
Exactly. So
Right or
it's
not? And the problem is sometimes we don't know who we're working for, and the person don't even appreciate us. How about Joanne? Is it the same situation with Cody or something else? Like, what got you attracted?
For me, it's because, like I say, work-life balance. So, and I know that being in sales line, it can earn you a better income. But, in every sales, it always restart every month. But in insurance, it's different because of the perpetual income. So, get to earn a very good living, perpetual income. I might be able to retire earlier. And then at the same time, I get the flexibility of time. Yeah. So this is what I really like.
Very cool. So, okay, very clear. Why you guys insurance? I got a difficult question for all of you. Okay, I'm convinced now that insurance is cool. Passive income lah, you got the platform, to build leaders and all that. Okay, good. I'm sold. Why Allianz? Malaysia got a lot of insurance company, right? I'm sure a lot of them watching this video right now is thinking, okay, I'm sold to this whole industry insurance platform, right? But why Allianz? What do you have to say about it, Cody?
Okay, just to cut the story short again, I think Allianz, because Allianz is a big multinational company, and of course with the histories and everything. For me, I see Allianz as like in football, like the Champions League. So,
wow! Oh, you talk about football.
Yeah, so
all of us are thinking right now
so
about Liverpool.
if you are looking to join a a business whereby you can actually grow your business, of course you need to be the the top. You need to be at the top. So of course, my dream is actually, of course, there is also many people's dream to join big companies like Allianz, because they will not easily go bankrupt. You see. Yeah. So that is the confident. That's why, and of course, most of all, I'm very amazed with when I came in, I was very amazed with the management team because of the support, how they actually deal with us. Like in a corporate for 13 years, if you ask me, meeting the C levels or maybe the managing director, it is like maybe the 1 year thingy, like suddenly annual dinner, you see them from far,
like
yeah,
J2 like that. J2,
yes. But surprisingly, in Allianz, the C levels, especially the CEO, our CSO, or the deputy chief sales, they are very down to the business, whereby they actually helps us a lot. So I actually felt that it is something that I always wanted, because why? Because this is how we could actually grow to another level. And of course, they don't actually treat us like oh, you guys are agents, but they really put their heart and tell us, look, we want to bring you to another level of success.
That's the difference between a business platform and really just working for a corporate company. Because if you think about it, business platform means they see you as a business partner. And of all people, I can understand why you got attracted to Allianz, especially after what happens in your bank, right? So
that's right.
You are looking for a good boss, and you want to be a good boss. I get you. I'm convinced.
And actually, I also want to to add something that I really want to thank. Really want to thank this a few management level. Like, say in Allianz, the deputy chief sales officer, Mr. Raymond Chia, our CSO, they really pump us up. When we are down, they really pump us, and so it's like no chance for you to go down. You see?
Wow, Raymond, if you're still watching this, right? Oh, well done, good job. How about Joanne? Well, for you, why Allianz?
Yeah, I have to agree with Cody, because I think like all good jobs, working with the right boss is very important. Okay, so for me, it's a support from the management that I really like, and of course, Allianz being a reputable company, right, with a great product, platform, culture, and everything, right, it will be easier for me to excel in the industry because of the reputable brand. Yeah.
Understand. So for you also, it's branding, right? Okay, now, so we are convinced with your decision. We can also see why you guys do what you do. But was it easy when you first started being an insurance agent? Do you meet any obstacles, any challenges? Cody?
Maybe as for me, of course, there's a change, definitely, from doing investment to protection, and financial planning, basically. And when I came in, like what I said, Allianz being the Champions League, they have really high standards, whereby Whereas when I joined in that time, I felt that, wow, all the leaders here are really capable because of, they are really pro in their sales, personal sales, and they are also pro in building teams. So for me, when I came in, I tried to unlearn and actually relearn back from basic. And of course, because last time personal sales was not actually something that I look at, more towards building a team. But when I came here, I realized that something that I need to do.
In other words, you're learning like as a leader, you need to first set a good example. Is that what you can say?
Exactly. I need to take the lead to show the good example to, especially to my partners.
A lot of corporate companies, right? You know what our bosses always do? You go, right? But I think what a good leader is, right, is when a leader say, let's go. There's a very big difference. So I guess that's your attraction point. Okay, but high standards lah.
Yeah,
that goes to a big company, right? Okay, but we'll hear how you tackle that later, okay? How about Joanne? What was your biggest challenge when you joined this business platform?
For me, it will be how to be outstanding. There are so many insurance agents outside. There are so many brands. How to be outstanding, because at the end of the day, insurance being insurance is the same. But I think how we really add value and outstand ourselves to be different from others is the point that client looking nowadays. Because I think the follow-up, the value is very important. The added value.
So let's summarize, right? So for Cody, it's about high standards. So when you join Allianz, they might be very good to you, they support you, but they also raise the bar very, very high. Right? You say what? Champions ma, like that one, right? And then for Joanne is that yours is external. The competition is from external. Cody's competition is the internal struggle. Joanne is external struggle because you have to compete with all the other insurance agents in the country, right? So I'm curious, Cody, how do you overcome that challenge?
Well, for me, it was not tough, basically, because as being one of the champions company, being in the champions, they actually have really good training, like, cultures and system. So for me, I will always tell the people that together with me come in, just one word, just follow. Whatever that Allianz actually teach, we just follow. And it's very in-depth. In terms of Allianz training, it's like from A to Z. Which is our motto, Allianz A to Z. So basically, the training system is also
A to Z.
Yes, it's also A to Z. So it's like basically once you need to come. Let's say for me, of all my experience, I just need to remove all my experience, and I just need to come in and learn, and just need to follow. Yeah, that's how.
So those of you watching this right now, right? If you know how to follow instructions, then you can do well on this business platform. Sometimes I feel that sometimes we are too smart for our own good. I've once talked to an insurance leader and he asked me to observe all the top performers. And I realized a pattern. Those top performers, right, might not be the smartest. They might not go to top schools and they don't speak very good English and all that. But the reason why they are successful is because they have a good boss and they follow the boss instructions. Right, and then the rest will always second guess the boss. Boss asks you do A, you ask why not B, boss? Right, and if you're like that, you're really gonna stop doing that. Yeah, because sometimes there's a reason why they are your bosses, because they have already been through that journey and they have already seen the world, right? So, but I think it's also important to follow the right boss, right? If not, you do the wrong things. How about Joanne? So for Joanne, how do you overcome this whole being different from all the other insurance agents in Malaysia?
Yeah, to be able to, outstand myself. So instead of selling, I choose to educate the client what is right, what they really need, and add value. So I don't do the push, very aggressive kind of selling to my client. I always educate. So when they see the value, everything, they will definitely be buying from me. Yeah, that's how I.
And don't forget, Joanne is IT student. So some of you might think, I'm from IT lah, I'm from engineering, I'm from accounting, I don't know how to sell. It seems to me that not knowing how to sell is an advantage in the insurance business. Because if you're too salesy, nobody likes you, right? But if you can learn to teach and educate and share, it seems like it's a better way to go. Did Allianz teach you how to do that? Like, did they show you step by step how to teach, how to educate, how to add value?
Yes, yes. They provide us training, you know, and on top of that, we also have our internal training. So on how to position ourselves, on how to, you know, educate client and add value. So I think that is really, really good, especially for people without any financial background or insurance background.
Wow.
It's really back to basic, you know, it's just a very simple thing in insurance. But
You know,
a lot of time people just, you know, complicate it.
yeah, which goes back to that's sort of point number one where Cody mentioned, right? Sometimes we think too much, right? Just follow instruction. I like that, follow, right? But make sure you follow the right boss. What I learned also from Allianz is that Allianz is like the opposite of a school. You know how we go to school, we pay money to school to learn, but now it seems like Allianz is paying you guys to learn.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Right? They pay you money, not enough, they still teach you. No wonder. All right, so okay, I'm sold. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm pretty much convinced why I can tell why they're excited about this platform. Now, question. So what was your breakthrough? Right, you guys have been in Allianz for a while. What would be a piece of success that you guys are very, very proud of? Cody?
Well, along my journey in Allianz, of course, I've won some certain, maybe, you know, awards and all. And one of it is actually to reconnect back with some of my clients that, you know, because I started doing back sales. But the most fulfilling thing is that I actually got to build my second family in Allianz. That is actually basically my team, which now comprises.
Is it the left or the right one? Or both of them?
All of them actually. Yeah. So
oh my God,
you know,
okay.
but this is actually
squad.
Yeah. So this was actually taken last year in June. I think we have doubled up our number. So yeah, we have doubled up our family. So the children has born some children, you know, they have given birth more children. Yeah. So that's
Guys, I just realized something. Is this Joanne?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, this is Joanne. Wow, that's a nice surprise. So Joanne is actually part of your team, and she's very, very successful right now.
That's right.
How do you feel? How do you feel when you see Joanne's success?
Very supportive one, and yeah, of course, I'm very happy for her, and I'm very. I really thank God for her being in my team, because she has been. We have been working like partners, of course, together with my wife. You know, so we really doesn't matter like who's under who and who's under who. That we just want to make things right.
One team, one family.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is when where were you? Is this like chalet or team building?
Yeah, we went for a retreat. This is where we start growing. I think in June. I think if I'm not mistaken, or July. Yeah, sometime in July.
So now how many people you have? You say you doubled. So what? 30 plus.
So now, according to the manpower, we have about 51 now at the moment. Yeah, thank you.
Wait, when you were working for your boss in a bank, how many people she have under her?
About 4.
Wow! From being under a boss with 4 people, right? Now our friend is a boss of 50 people.
Yeah.
Like,
I really want to. I also want to take this opportunity to thank each and everyone who is watching today. Part of me, you know, I really thank you, because if it's not because of you guys, it will not happen. Definitely, it is definitely a team effort. Yep.
Well done. Right? Isn't it nice? Success together succeed. Right? The feeling's shook. How about Joanne? Let's take a look at Joanne's pictures. Joanne, what's your breakthrough?
For me, it will be my first MDRT last year, and also being a centurion. And
okay, wait, we slow down. Tell everybody what is called MDRT.
MDRT is a recognition, $1 million round table, whereby they have a figure that you need to achieve on the collected premiums. So for last year, it was 417,000. Yeah, so that was my first MDRT.
Yeah. By the way, I do some research. MDRT, if she qualified for MDRT, it makes her the top 2% globally. So imagine she just now said that her biggest problem was not being able to differentiate herself because there's so many insurance agents. But by doing the right things, you know, by getting the right training, she's now in the top 2%. Right? Truly a champion. Well done.
On top of that, I was very glad that I'm one of the centurion in Allianz.
What's that? It makes you sound very old though. What is called centurion?
Yeah, closing 100 cases in a year. Yeah, more than 100 cases in a year. Yeah.
Oh my God. You know how I see it? I see that you help 100 people, more than 100 people a year.
Yeah.
You know, the beauty of it, I mean, I have been a beneficiary of insurance before. So I understand that as an insurance agent, when you are successful, you are somebody else's miracle, right? To put it simply, every success that you created is a miracle that you created for us. And I think that's the beauty of this business. So congratulations, and tell us a little bit about the countries.
Okay, these are the countries, the places that I go when I was in Allianz, the challenge, the trips that I've won. The first will be Perth, and then Portugal, and I actually won myself to the Hong Kong Athlete. And Belgium is actually my home team, my whole team. I'm very glad actually because most of the people in my team are actually my ex-colleague when I was in the banking line. So they were in my team before, so they actually come back and then we become partners. So it's amazing how, you know, the relationship, the friendship is there. I always love to work with people that, you know, we care so that we can grow together, you know, we earn together, and at the same time, you know,
Enjoy.
we travel together. Yeah, that's what I really love. Yeah.
You know, guys, the reason why we invited Cody and Joanne, right, is because remember I told you the tip that if you want to know your future, just go watch these people. Look at their current life right now. Their current life is your future, right? And if everything that you have listened to about Cody resonates with you, right? If everything that Joanne shared resonates with you, like you want what they have, then I guess the answer is pretty straightforward, right? The solution is there, the platform is there. All you need to do is really just start taking action. There's a saying that once you start taking action, you set your destiny in motion. The fact that today you come in here on a Friday evening, like, for crying out loud, you know, Malaysia, right now you're free to go. Even Singapore, we're also free to go out. But the fact that you make a point to come here, it tells me that you care enough about your future, right? You took a very important action. And I'd like to invite you to take the next most important action, and that's give a call to the person that brought you here and tell them what you have learned from today and ask them to tell you what's the next action you can take. Remember, this life is all about action. You take the right action, you get the right result. It's as simple as that, all right? In fact, MDRT, what Joanne said was must do $1 million round table. But to me, I define MDRT as must do right things. So if you do the right things, you'll get the right results and you'll get the kind of life that you want. All right, so before we close and hand over to Ian, I'm pretty sure you guys want to stay in touch with Joanne, Ian, not Ian, the MC, sorry, Cody, myself. So I've inserted all their Instagram handles over there. If you guys aspire to be like Cody, you want to be a leader, you want to be a people builder, please go stay in touch with him on Instagram. Joanne, if you aspire to, you know, be able to travel, see the world, help people in Malaysia, right, then go talk to her. Okay, and if everything that I shared with you about entrepreneurship appeals to you, follow me on social media as well. Okay, so that's all the time you have. Cody, any final words that you want to share with our guests today? They're all watching you right now.
All right, cool. I think to everyone, if you are still working in the corporate like how I did, not that it's, I mean, it's definitely a wonderful job, you know, definitely a wonderful job. But I totally agree with what Eric said, is that for me, in my own philosophy, there's three things I would like to share. Just number one is that in order for us to be sustainable, you know, in the corporate or anywhere, number one, you need to be academic smart. That's number one. Then number two, you definitely need to be street smart. So people need to like you. When they see you, they don't like you, sorry. And number three, like what Eric said just now, you need to do politics, whereby you need to do the back massage for people. So, yep. So if you doesn't have one of that, so why don't you come and, you know, understand how you could actually become the next life changer of Allianz as well. Wow. That's all I want to say.
Be strong now because things will get better. It might be stormy now, but it can't rain forever. Yep. I love it. All right, let's look at the next one. Joanne. Wow, already you're singing eh? It's very nice. Okay, tell us.
To me, I think, you know, all of us here, definitely we have a job and then we make a living. But most important is the fulfillment, what you really want. Because a lot of time, you know, we might be earning a lot, but in the end of the day, it's very empty. We don't know what's the meaning of life. So I think in this career, I find fulfillment because on top of being able to earn a very good income, I get a lot of flexibility in time, so I can get, you know, spend more time with my family. At the same time, what I really like is in insurance, I get to help a lot of families. This is what I really like. You know, I add value. I manage to help a lot of people to get insured. So this is really something meaningful for me lah. So yeah.
I can tell that. I can tell you guys enjoy your job. All right. So guys, everything that needs to be said has already been said, but you know, we can talk under the cow come home, but if you don't take the next action, your life is not going to change. So I'm going to end you again with this quote that once you start taking action, you're going to set your bright future in action. Ian, back to you.